Welcome again, and we're so glad that you are joining us with Raising Teens with a Purpose. Our second part today will be on how to encourage independence and responsibility into your teens. As teens grow, they naturally crave independence. Hormones begin to kick in. They begin to seek to carve out their own identities and make choices that reflect their own values and interests. And so it becomes very vital to understand nurturing this desire of independence in your teens is crucial. But it must be balanced with guidance and support. So allow me in this episode to share with you 6 strategies to help you develop that independence and responsibility in your teenage life, while at the same time you're ensuring they know you are there for them. And so here we go. Number 1, start with small responsibilities. You must start with small responsibilities. For example, begin by assigning your teen small responsibilities that encourage them to take ownership and stewardship of their task. That could include, for example, managing their own schedules. That will be a good place to start, such as keeping track of the homework, the due dates of the homework, extracurricular activities, social events, and so on. Make sure as well, if possible, you provide them with a planner or suggest them using digital tools to help them organize their times. Nowadays, all teens mostly have their phone and have access to apps and so on. So that should not be any problem. What I could add additionally, involve them in household chores as well, allowing them to take charge and responsibility of specific tasks, like, for example, cooking a meal, doing their bed, of course, doing their own laundry, and so, cleaning probably the entrance or in the living room. And so these small responsibilities will lay the groundwork for greater independence as you teach them valuable life skills. So start always with small responsibilities. Number 2, you must encourage your teens in decision making. Empower your teens to make decisions about their lives. Allow them to choose, for example, the extracurricular activities based on their own personal interests and passions, not yours. Whether it's like sports, music, or volunteerings, and so on. This will not only help them explore their own identity, but it also will help them foster a sense of agency and responsibility. When it comes to social outings, encourage them to manage their budgets for activities with friends. That will allow them to be able to know how to function in a community and still keeping that responsibility going forward. Discuss with your teen the importance of financial responsibilities. Don't wait. And help them understand how to prioritize their spending. A lot of adults today are struggling because their parent didn't take time to set those things in place. You can do it. Because by giving them the freedom to make choices, you're teaching them to weigh options as well and consider consequences. I'm going to point number 3 now. Balance support with freedom. Balance support with freedom. What do I mean by that? While it's important to encourage independence, it's equally crucial to provide support and guidance when needed. Now, you just don't let them go on their own. You must be available to offer advice or assistance, but do so in a way that empowers your teen rather than taking over. Many parents just come and take over. Don't take over. Just be present to give advice. They still feel like they're in charge. For instance, if they are struggling with decisions, ask guiding questions. For example, like, son, what do you think the pros and cons are in this given situation? How do you feel about that choice? This approach will encourage your teens to think critically and develop also problem-solving skills while knowing that you are there to support them and not take over. I think that point is clear. Number 4, embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. One of the most valuable lessons in fostering independence in your teens is allowing your teens the freedom to make mistakes. Remember, at once we were teens and we made our own mistakes. And sometimes we want to bring that perfection perspective to our children, and that's not right. Allow them to make mistakes. Understand that errors are a natural part of growth and learning. When your teen faces setbacks, instead of stepping in to fix the solution, I was an expert in that, encourage them to reflect on what went wrong and how they might approach it differently next time. Don't lose it, don't panic, don't get angry. Mistakes are learning opportunities. When you do so, it builds resilience and teaching your teenagers that failure is not the end in itself, but rather an opportunity for them to learn, to grow. Number 5, building confidence and responsibility. As your teen takes on more responsibilities and learn to navigate decision making, even taking decision for themselves, as you're always there to assist them when they need, what happened? Their confidence begin to grow naturally. And therefore, it's important to celebrate their successes, no matter how small it is. Brag about them, clap hands for them, acknowledge their effort in managing their task. Do it one-on-one, do it when their friends or the family is around. And this positive reinforcement will encourage your teen to continue taking initiative and reinforces their sense of responsibility. Remind them often that you believe in their ability. Tell them, communicate it verbally to them. Whenever you do that, it will further motivate them to embrace independence. They will be able to take on tasks without fear, knowing dad and mom are always there to clap hands for me. Number 6, open lines of communication. Open lines of communication. Throughout this process, maintain open lines communication. Meaning what? I spoke about it, I'll repeat it again. Regularly check in with your teen about their experiences and feeling regarding their newfound independence. That's important for them. This not only helps them to stay connected, but it also provides them with a great sense and a platform to discuss any other further challenges that they may be encountering along the way. And so when the teen know that they can come to you for support at any moment, any time, without being criticized or judged or punished, they will feel more secure in exploring their independence, and they will feel bolder as well in taking on more. And so I'm coming to the conclusion on this episode. When you nurture your teens' desire for independence, while you provide to them at the same time guidance and support, it helps them to develop skills of communication, but it's building them the necessary confidence that will allow them to navigate this world, their own world, as responsible adults. And this balance not only strengthens your relationship between you and your teen, but it also prepares them for the challenges that await them, and also prepare them to take advantage of the opportunities that lie ahead them in their adulthood. I hope that you've been blessed, that you have taken note. Revisit this episode and begin to take steps to implement such. And I know the God we serve will give you the grace needed to bring the turnaround in your family as you raise your teens with a purpose. I'm looking forward to see you in our next episode. I will talk about how to balance discipline and freedom. See you there.